Today, we're proud to feature an action sport that made a name for itself 40 plus years ago, behind the likes of a grassroots Laguna Beach company called Victoria Skimboards. This year marks the 40th anniversary of the Victoria Skimboard World Championship. Today, we take you to the beach, where we will talk to Tex Haines, co-founder of Victoria Skimboards. Plus, he brings with him 4 professional Victoria skimmers. A great show ahead. I'm Paul Higgins, this is Coach's Corner, and all the action starts right now. Hello everybody, I'm Paul Higgins on a beautiful morning at Aliso State Beach in Laguna Beach, California. Today, of course, we're talking skimboarding with the guru himself, Tex Haines, co-founder of Victoria Skimboards, established back in 1976. Today, as we mentioned, you're going to see 4 different riders today. So excited that all 4 of these riders could get here. They are dying to get in the water, so we're going to do the interview and then get some highlights of them skimming. But also joining us is Jared Green, a Laguna Beach high school graduate, 21 years old. He's also a team rider. He also runs the camps for Victoria Skimboards. So, gentlemen, welcome to Coach's Corner. And I told you, we established that name a long time ago. I'm still trying to figure out if it fits. So you're my coach today.
I'm your coach. Ask me any questions you need.
Well, Coach, you got a pretty big event coming up. We're going to talk about that. The 40th edition, the second 40th edition that we'll talk about. But also you have 4 really good riders, and Jared is one of them. Why did you select Jared, and how important is he to your business at Victoria?
Oh my gosh, he's one of the kingpins because our retail store is now staffed by Jared during the off summer months, and as soon as summer comes, he runs the camp, so I depend on him heavily. He's responsible, he's a good kid, and he understands kids, which is even more important. And yeah, glad to have him.
Jared, we'll call you a good young man now, right?
Thank you.
21. So you just recently got back from Cabo, where you're riding down there in that great contest. But Jared, every year, right here at this beach, you do the Victoria Skimboard Pro-Am, and it's a really special contest. What is so exciting about that? My thoughts is that's a grassroots contest that the look and feel hasn't changed.
That's very true. I mean, the reason why it's so special is because it is, to my knowledge, one of the oldest contests that I could think of. I've been coming to this contest since I've been 8 years old. It'd be my dream to ever win it. That's how big of a contest it is to me. To add on that, my stepdad, Ivan Ashauer, has been in the skim community for more than 30 years. More than that, I don't know, but he's been such a big influence on me, and he's been taking me down this contest since I was 8 years old, throwing me in it, just do it, just do it. Yeah. And ever since, I've just been so blessed and stoked to be a part of the skim community and a part of that contest especially.
Well, you're super humble, and Tex, I think that's the sport of skimming it's a humble man's sport. I mean, you see kids on the beach, they're normally courtesy of everybody, and of course, they're grassroots kids that here in Laguna can become worldwide names.
It's pretty cool. We've sort of developed differently than skateboard with the rebel image. It's been a lot of really good people involved, good community, and the ocean teaches us respect. Any wiseacre runs as fast as he can and comes dragging back up the beach after the first thumping. So yeah, it's a great community.
How has skimming changed since we've last talked? I mean, you and I started this back in the 80s when I had you on my shows early then, and I've come to the contest several times, but is skimming continuously evolving? We talked about how it related to skateboarding at one time and some of the tricks and some of the maneuvers. I mean, you can't do them all on a skimboard, obviously, but it certainly has evolved.
That's a great question because skimming was pretty much all beach back in the days when we talked last. And now it's evolved to a huge boating market. A massive amount of boaters are skimming behind their boats. And the social media has spread skimming to every corner of the globe. We've got Japan, Australia, Asia, Europe, and these have strong communities and independent manufacturers. So it's a lot of growth. It's really cool.
Jared, you were just talking about it. I was in the Philippines this time last year, and you said skimming's big in the Philippines. And skimming is big in Mexico. They really want it. When you say they really want it, tell me what you're talking about.
So I think nowadays, to relate back to your question, I think it's right now closer than ever to skateboarding and so many other board sports, because it's people and are getting so technical with these boards. They're going in the air, they're doing 360 rotations, they're doing things that are unimaginable without fins. That's the crazy thing about skimboarding, is that there's no fins.
There is no fins.
So they're able to pull off shove-its and spin maneuvers with their board under their feet and land them and still ride the wave back in. So the kids in the Philippines, also in Mexico, they're so eager to want to be one of the best. They don't have much. Here we can go through 2 boards a year. There they have a board every 5 years, you know? So they really master that board and really get to know it and really just are hungry for more. They want to be sent all over the world. They want people to notice them, as opposed to here. I mean, we're in the Mecca. We're where everyone is taking photos. We do have to try very hard, but to be seen is not as hard as for them to be seen.
Your thoughts, I got about a minute left with you in this segment before I let you go. What can you tell us about the camp coming up that you do?
The most beautiful thing I do all summer. get to teach the youth how to skimboard and show them the sport that I love so dearly, and pass on my knowledge to the kids, and just by the end of the week, hopefully they've gained some of my wisdom and run with it and get a Victoria skimboard and start skimming for the rest of their lives.
Well, Jared, you've spent many, many days on this beach and beaches throughout Laguna. Congratulations on your success. 21 years old out of Laguna Beach High School. You run in the retail shop, and of course he's been involved since skimming since he was 8 years old. Just another great example of what skimming is all about. When we come back, one more team rider for you. More of Victoria right here on Coach's Corner after this.
Why go anywhere else for your remodel project when you can find everything here at Decor and Tile? Our expert staff has years of experience, which is passed on to you whether you are a homeowner, contractor, or designer. At Decor and Tile, we make your project easy with our beautiful and unique showroom filled with tile, stone, decorative glass, wood tile, granite, and quartz like Pentel, Caesar Stone, and USA Cambria. Find out why Decor and Tile is the most referred showroom in South Orange County. Come in, call, or visit us on the web today.
Hello everybody, welcome back to this edition of Coach's Corner here on a beautiful morning at Aliso Beach. It doesn't get any better than this, and this is why Tex started his business 40 years ago, to be at the beach, even though he doesn't get to spend every waking hour there. But also joining us is a guy that might have an opportunity to spend a little bit more time on the beach. This is Ryan Ward, 21 years old, graduate of Laguna Beach High School. He's been a team rider with Victoria for 8 years. Also, his job at the deck. If you want a great meal, you can go see Ryan. He'll set you up. He won't give you a discount, but he'll give you great service, right, Ryan?
True.
Well, hey, welcome to Coach's Corner. And you and I have been talking about this sport and talking about, you know, what makes it tick. I got to ask you, Tex, what is it that you like about Ryan, his riding style, and what he brings to skim?
I can only describe my screensaver right now for the last 2 weeks was Wardo at about this kind of angle charging a steep wave right out here. And it was about the most aggressive go at a gnarly bull I've seen in a long time. That's this guy.
So Ryan, does that feel like exactly what he's talking about? I mean, you can't relive a wave because every wave is different.
Exactly.
But that's nice that he has a photo of that. What kind of feeling is that when you experience it?
I mean, there's no other feeling like it in the world. Just pure joy, grinning from ear to ear. The whole beach is clapping their board and yelling for you, and it's just a big, exciting moment that you get.
I stopped him coming out of the water and said, "Hey, Wardo, how was that wave?"
Smiling from ear to ear, exactly.
When do you know it's going to be a good ride, Ryan? Is it right when you hit the board on the beach, or is it a couple seconds into it?
You know, it's all about the process of seeing that wave coming in too. So, you know, say from 100 yards out, you see it coming in, and you, through experience and years of doing it, you kind of learn that this is a wave that I'm going to want to be on, and this is where I'm going to want to be, or this is a wave that I don't want to go on and I don't want to be there at all. So it kind of starts with seeing it coming in, and then that's how I take it and run with it, you know.
Tex is a regular foot. I'm a regular foot. What are you?
Goofy foot.
Goofy foot. So that means you get your left foot in the back. So that changes up things a little bit, doesn't it?
All the other guys are regular footer that you interviewed. So they skim, mostly the side wash makes a difference. They skim it with their back towards the wave. I get a more open view.
Yeah.
And I'm so blessed to have that because they all kind of are jealous of it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like, hey, you get to skim it perfectly, and I just like, hey, it's, you know.
So with the progression of the sport, leading to that would be a rider that can skim switch.
Exactly.
And is there very many of that going on?
There are a few, and it's one of those talents people are adopting because they know that's going to be the difference going down in the future.
That is, it's like if you brush your teeth with your right hand every day, switch it up and brush with your left hand. And then you add that on a skimboard, it's extremely difficult. Tell us why.
You know, it's like you said, it's when you do something a certain way for so long and you try and switch it up, it's just so hard. So from honestly an early age, I grew up skimming down Thalia Street where the waves were a little smaller. So I'd try and switch it up a little bit and go switch and maybe even take a day to just skim switch the whole time just to kind of get that feel, you know, skim differently. And
He just mentioned something really amazing about being at Thalia Street, right? That's how you say that, correct? Thalia? And because that's where I like to go. And your thoughts when you're just starting out, going to Aliso is probably not the best idea, right?
Correct. Yeah, we send them into town on a smaller wave day. They'll have a much better time of it. Not so dangerous.
How different is this beach, and both of you guys can answer this, from Victoria?
Oh, that's a good question. What do you think?
you know, I'd say Victoria is a little bit more like Thalia. It does have that teeth that Aliso has from time to time, but you know, it's a little more gradual and a little less aggressive than down here. You know, I'd say from Aliso all the way down to 10th Street, this is where you get your really heavy short break and your
This is the
big
deepest canyon offshore, so the waves can come in closest to the beach before they start to break, and so we'll get larger stuff here.
So it's deeper right out here?
Yeah, it's kind of like Hawaii in the way it comes from very deep water to very shallow water very quickly.
Have you been diving out there? Have you had that opportunity?
No, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I was just curious on that because it's a mystery out there, right? Yeah. So this sport is a little bit of a mystery too, right? I mean, it changes every day. No wave is the same, as we talked about. No ride is the same. That's got to just keep you hungry.
Absolutely. I mean, day in and day out, I'm skimming different waves and in a different environment, and especially here in Laguna, you have such a plethora of different waves that you can ride. So depending on really what you're feeling and what your preference is, you can kind of hit this spot or this spot, and it's just a good time.
It keeps us hungry.
Keeps us hungry.
You don't get it good when you want it, you get it good when it's good.
That's right. That's a really good way of putting it. And you've got a great product. I got to say that Victoria is one of the best products in the world at skimming, of course, skimboards. Your thoughts, just a couple seconds left with you. 12 years from now, where am I going to catch up with you at?
You know, I hope to just keep getting better and better. I hope the sport grows, and I hope it, you know, essentially becomes more like surfing. And I hope people recognize that it is crazy and it is dangerous and it is just as fun to watch as surfing is. So it's I'm hoping that's where we are in about 12 years.
You mentioned it is fun to watch, and again, you just have to come to the beach to check it out. You're just feet away from the action. The upcoming Victoria Skimboard contest each and every year in the summer. You can always go to their website. This year in 2017, it's in August 19th and 20th. I want to thank you, Ryan. You did a great job on the show. If you're looking for a good meal, go down and see Ryan at the deck. More of Coach's Corner after this. Mission Basilica School is a Catholic parochial school with single-grade classrooms from pre-kindergarten through 8th grade.
We have absolutely the best to offer in education. We don't just educate the child academically. They are nurtured spiritually. They are guided through their spiritual journey. They are loved, every being of them.
A blue ribbon school for academic excellence, located on the beautiful grounds of Mission San Juan Capistrano, Mission Basilica School. You know, sometimes I try to get really good looking guests and it doesn't always work out. Well, we have a really good looking guest now, and his name is Johnny Salta. And I say that too because Johnny, 25 years old, just look at him, really good looking guy. You will see him on the silver screen because what he does as a side job is he acts, right? You've got an actor joining you and a team rider. Johnny, for 10 years now, you've been on the team. So you parlay that and you've got a career in acting that you're hopefully going to take off for you. And no kidding aside, I wish you the best of luck. Super hard business, but you've got what it takes. Why continue to skim? And let me go back. How did you get involved in skimboarding?
I think mostly just growing up in Laguna Beach, it was hard to not get involved with skimming. I mean, I was never a ball sport type of person. I was always focused on the ocean and surfing, and skimboarding was a part of Laguna, I think, in growing up. And I was lucky enough to have my dad be very supportive in helping me out with boards and taking me to the beach as much as I'd like to, probably too much. But yeah, I mean, I got hooked. I think it was fun and convenient to just easily be on the shore. A lot of Laguna, almost all of Laguna from end to end has little breaks that are fun to just mess around on, and some of the best waves in the world. So,
Johnny, you're a great ambassador for the sport, and I'm sure you're a great ambassador for Victoria. When you ask a team rider to become a team rider, what qualities do you want in that person?
50% character, 50% riding skills. They've got to be a good person and good with people. And that's usually not hard to find. We seem to attract them.
Yeah. What do you like about Johnny's riding style?
Beautiful long distance rides. He's a specialist in reaching the furthest waves, farthest out. And your question earlier with Ryan about how do you read the water, 100 yards out, they can spot a really small difference between two waves where they might be closer together or a little shoulder or something. And that reading water, I think, is one of the bigger skills of the pros.
Johnny, that's a good point. And looking at you guys today, the 4 team riders, you're all slim, you're all trim, and you're fit, right? It is, as I mentioned to of course, Jared and Ryan, it's a physical sport. How do you keep up with that demanding aspect of it?
I think the more I've gotten into it, especially the older I've gotten, the more serious I've been about training and staying healthy and eating right and not going out too long and being focused on when there is an event. But it is very, I mean, I think if you're in the water consistently, it's almost good enough for how much you're running and putting pressure on your body. I think it's a good enough way to work out. But it does help and benefit you if you are training in the gym or running outside of being on the beach and all that. So,
you know, I'm seeing kids now. I love to hang out. Laguna Beach is my favorite beach in the world, literally. I mean, I've been all over this. I love coming back here. Your thoughts about, I'm seeing like 4-year-olds out there on little skimboards, 5-year-olds, and they are doing really well. That is a good sign.
It is a good sign. That's the highlight of our contest. The final is the little kids skimming. We stop and just go ape to watch the parents nudge them down the slopes and get on the wave and then retrieve their board for them and hand it to them again. So that's our celebration for that whole contest, is the next generation coming up. It's great.
Your thoughts about that contest? It maintains its level of integrity and a level of riding every year. You have guys coming back, even though they might not be riding in the contest anymore. They still come back.
It's due to the length of time skimboarding has been in this town. We have a lot of older guys now in the 40s and 50s who judge, and the judging makes the contest. Serious, good, unbiased, and attentive judges are the key to having everyone feel like they got a fair shake.
The key word was unbiased, right, Johnny? That's the key word. Johnny, what do you look at in a good ride? Safe? Are you regular or goofy?
I'm regular.
You're regular, so you're like us. So what do you look at in what is a good skimboarding ride?
I think the main thing to focus on is completion. The goal is to get out to either the most difficult wave to reach and come all the way back in, and if you're lucky enough to find a moment to either pop a trick or just make it a little more stylish than just a basic ride, I mean, that helps out point-wise in contests. Size obviously matters. I think distance makes a big difference, but
as opposed to surfing where you have to consistently wait for that wave to come up, you could get in 3 or 4 or 5 rides compared to 1 ride on a surfboard. Is that sometimes maybe some reason why skimboarding takes off also?
I think so, yeah. I mean, even on the smallest little break, you can find something to make out of it, whether it's some kind of technical maneuver. And I mean, that even to a basic turn on a bigger wave is almost a comparable score, depending on how technical your trick may be, even if it's a smaller wave.
This gives our East Coast riders a real advantage because they're used to working with very little. And they bring a lot of extra skills out here, and they're quite competitive.
That's a good point. And how many East Coast riders will come out and ride with you in your contest? You got a handful of them?
Oh boy, the winner in Cabo 2 weeks ago was from Delaware.
Wow.
Austin Keene's from Florida. Probably a dozen good riders have moved out here in the last 10 years.
That's amazing. Johnny, your thoughts about the future of skimboarding? I asked this question to Tex 20 years ago, and he proved everything right. I don't know if you can answer something incorrect on this one.
I mean, I think it's amazing to see how talented there are. So many different riders from all over the world, and they have all these little niches, I think, that are, I mean, I think Mexico has some of the best talent that unfortunately can't do the majority of the contests. Same with, I mean, there's riders in Japan, a lot in Europe now, East Coast, obviously. I mean, I think it's amazing to see literally talent globally, and it'll be really nice to hopefully eventually see everyone be able to connect into one place and all do the same events and all be at the same moment.
Well, it's really cool watching you guys progress, and over the years watching skimboarding again develop into just a worldwide sport. If you ever want to come down and watch skimboarding, it's very easy to do. Just come down to Aliso, hang out on the beach. These guys will show up early morning, late afternoon, and they're here till sunset. Make sure you always check it out. When we come back, one more guest, one more team rider for and from Victoria. More after this.
Why go anywhere else for your remodel project when you can find everything here at Decor & Tile? Our expert staff has years of experience which is passed on to you whether you are a homeowner, contractor, or designer. At Decor & Tile, we make your project easy with our beautiful and unique showroom filled with tile, stone, decorative glass, wood tile, granite, and quartz like Pentel, Caesar Stone, and USA Cambria. Find out why Decor & Tile is the most referred showroom in South Orange County. Come in, call, or visit us on the web today.
Mission Basilica School is a Catholic parochial school with single-grade classrooms from pre-kindergarten through 8th grade.
We have absolutely the best to offer in education. We don't just educate the child academically. They are nurtured spiritually. They are guided through their spiritual journey. They are loved, every being of them.
A blue ribbon school for academic excellence, located on the beautiful grounds of Mission San Juan Capistrano, Mission Basilica School. Hey everybody, welcome back to our final segment of Coach's Corner here at Aliso Beach, talking with Tex Haines, the co-founder of Victoria Skimboards. Now he brings yet another great team rider, and this is Teddy Vlasis. He is 24 years old. He's been riding for Victoria for 12 years. That's amazing. He's also a musician. His band is called Solag Vibrations. Another really popular skimboarder, Nick Hernandez. Of course, he's a musician. He actually plays with his son in the band, and pretty amazing. So welcome, Teddy.
Welcome, thank you.
You know, why am I drawing a blank on Nick's band?
Common sense.
Common sense. I listen to it all the time. Cannot believe I just draw a blank on that. But so you're a musician, you ride. That's a pretty good lifestyle.
It's amazing. I think being a musician helps you with your timing as far as skimboarding so much more than anything. And any kind of board sport, like being in the right place at the right time and just knowing
That makes total
when
sense.
to hit it.
Tempo of the wave, right?
Yeah.
How about that?
Kinda like it.
Well, you know, Tex, you just said something about when he sat down, he rides an extra large board. Can you talk about that?
Most riders will ride a small board. Like surfers, they tend to emulate the pros and ride a really tiny board that hardly gets into the wave. Skimming is the same way. Teddy's figured out that if you get a larger board, you'll get further out, get bigger waves. You just have to move your foot back on the tail. And none of the other riders really seem to follow that, which is a real opportunity for this guy. He kills it.
Teddy, you got to have some power to do that. Tell me about that.
Yeah, just you know, as far as how much you run, you're gonna catch it. Like, I got a bigger board because I was not getting the wave, and I was like, what the heck is going on? But yeah, you have to have a lot more power, and you got to be strong and run as fast as you can, and pretty much just be determined to get the wave and have all the right equipment, the board, and
Determined.
Determined.
Yeah.
12 years he's been with you. That's a long time.
It is a long time.
How has he changed in those 12 years?
I say I love you, man, all the time now. And that's because of this guy.
I love you, man.
I love you, man.
He's passed that on.
He has. And we talked about it last week. When one of his competitors turns to him and says, take this wave, we'll know he has succeeded.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing. I mean, it's really a bro sport.
It is.
You know, it's a
family.
brotherhood, right?
Yeah.
And not to exclude the women, there's some great girls that are skimming too. we're not showing them, on the show today, but it's a great lady sport.
It is, it's awesome, and a huge opportunity for women because it's still relatively small.
Yeah. Your thoughts about why Laguna is so good for skimboarding? I mean, it's obvious to people that come here and see it, but you don't do this in San Clemente or Newport.
No, this is the best place in the world to skimboard. I mean, there's Cabo and there's Brazil and there's everywhere, but this whole coastline is just perfect. There's so many little coves and so many side washes, and I think if you grow up learning how to skimboard here, you could skimboard anywhere in the world, and it's kind of like Jared was saying, the mecca of the sport.
Is the first step the hardest? I mean, you do it in your sleep, but if you're a guy that's in his 30s and he sees his son or daughter skimming and he wants to try it, how do you get that person to commit?
I suggest just going really slow and easy with it. Just taking one step at a time. You don't need to run as fast as you can and try to catch something that you don't know how to do yet. Just slowly ease your way into it. Yeah. Bend your knees so you're lower to the ground. If you fall, you don't hurt yourself as bad. Not all way up here.
And know the ocean, right? Know where the rocks are.
Know where the riptide is.
Know where the riptide, exactly. Tex, you have been doing this for a while. You mentioned 40 years that you started your business, but how has the board changed over the years? You've got 3 great boards here, and the board is definitely, I mean, you shape them, you do everything.
Yeah, we've evolved into a narrow board for quite a while, a little narrower nose, and now it's come back to the fuller nose, which I think is logical. You step forward to keep going, and the width of the board helps you in that sense. So we've come full circle back to the designs of the 80s and early 90s.
And I know this is Victoria, but why is Victoria such a good board? He's too humble.
I got to credit my crew. I have a bunch of guys that's been around for about 20 years, and they're really good craftsmen.
Okay, so that's your answer. What's his answer?
I think because they actually still make wooden skimboards.
Yeah.
And I love to compete, not compete, but I love to skimboard on a wooden skimboard for free and fun. And I don't think any other brands, I think maybe Zap Skimboards does that in the East Coast, but they're pioneered the way, and they're OGs. So.
Tell me OG.
They're just ocean grown. They're right here, and they got the good vibes.
You got to coin that. You probably already have, right? Maybe make that a song or something. So what would you say, Teddy, 12 years you've been doing this, and obviously you've been doing it longer than 12 because you've been a team rider for 12. When you're 8 years old or whatever and you pick up a skimboard, what makes that thing just contagious?
Just ditching school and running to the beach every day. Just staying out of trouble. All your friends. I mean, it was hard to run away from it here because everybody did it. Yeah. So we just kind of jumped on the bandwagon. And
Mom knew where Teddy was. He's at the beach.
He's at the beach.
He's at the beach, and then when he's not, he's playing his guitar or playing something, right? Well, you end up playing the drums. That's awesome. It's one of my goals. I want to thank you for joining me on the show. You did a fantastic job. Good luck in the contest coming up in August. Continued success in your musical career, because I know it's going to be phenomenal coming out of Laguna Beach. Tex, man, it's so good seeing you all the time. Thank you so much. Victoria Skimboards, if you're going to buy a board, that's where you want to buy it from, right here in Laguna Beach, California. I want to thank my crew for waking up early and coming to the beach today. Not a bad day to be at the beach. For Coach's Corner, I'm Paul Higgins. We'll see you next time.